BBAI has ripped up, guys, closing at that 795, reclaiming that 787 where we found that resistance, right? We hit around that 820, got above that psychological $8 level, but then we saw that rejection. And in the last BBAI video, guys, we said that if we could hold around this overall formation, there's definitely a chance that we could get that leg back up and continue this big movement up. And that's exactly what we see here, guys. We get that big leg up, and now we are back over that 787. So will the buyers continue to push stock up, getting back and retesting that 1036 and possibly over that level? Or are the sellers going to step in once again, kind of double topping and bringing us down? Now, starting this on the weekly, like we emphasized, guys, stock is very volatile. It's one of those small cap stocks with those big moves up and down. And that's what we see. Big move up, retrace that, go more than that. Big move up, almost retrace that whole movement, hold a little bit higher, big move up, full retracement. And as of more recently, we see volume come in, as volume wasn't really a factor with the stock. So volume is in, and we see that huge move up after a very choppy, volatile range and exact retracement down. So we do get that leg up, but we get that exact retracement down. Sellers stepping in, fully retracing that movement, and we see some more volatile chop. And then we get into another ascending type of range. You see an ascending range here, volatile chop. This chop being, those past spikes pretty much, guys. So very volatile as volume starts to pick up here and surge in. And then we get led to a $10.36 level move. And then right in this zone, guys, we're building up that energy again. A little bit less volatile. Nevertheless, we are riding this ascending support. And then we see that big pop out to that 820-ish level, finding resistance around that 787. See buyers push it up, sellers try to step in, and buyers push it right back up. So nice price action, guys. Kind of reminiscent of this first weekly price action. In a way, right? We see that big move up, sellers try to step in, and buyers get that leg back up, and we push it even higher. So kind of doing something a little bit like that. Not quite as volatile as that, right? But we are definitely looking pretty good for that leg up here on the weekly time frame. As when sellers try to step in, buyers step right back in, reclaiming that spot. Now, guys, on the daily chart, what we see here is obvious, kind of sloppy, but nevertheless a cup and handle. So we see the cup and we see the handle pattern, and then we see the break of around that neckline area. Not perfect, right? This is not a perfect cup and handle, but we do see some sort of a structure of a cup and handle. And that's where we get that huge sell-off, right? Creating that kind of cup formation. We see that on the weekly where we examine that volatile chop, right? We see price not doing too much, but then we see price and volume really ramp up here, and we see that chop up and down, kind of finding a resistance around that 369 and that $5 psychological level. But, test that 5, get back down on this ascending support. You see how reactive BBAI is on this ascending support. Every time we hit it, we get that leg up. Chop a little bit, get that leg up. Come back down to it, get that leg up. Come back down once again after all these tests as we're in an ascending profile, and then we pop to that 1036. Beautiful movement up and very nice, ascending profile with volume in play. But we do see volume really spike with that movement, but also on that decline. So we see a decline in volume, and then we see a drastic sell-off, bring us all the way back down, right where that price really built up that momentum. We found that bottom of 237, so we kind of get a little bit of a double bottom type formation, and we rebuild that energy up, guys, and we kind of just bleed out of that ascending support. But once we have to make a choice, right, either buyers or sellers have to win, meeting up with this little resistance and support. Either buyers push it up or sellers push it down. And we see it like above that 820, around that 874-ish level being the exact high, right? Something around there. But we do find ultimate resistance more around that 825 like we were describing, and under that 787. So we got that volatile chop. We see a very nice move up. We come back down, retracing only around, a little bit less than a half of that movement there. And we see that correction holding within this general formation here. Now retracing back to this half of this formation. So very nice price action as we retrace less than that, and we get that movement up, reclaiming that 787. So definitely looking pretty nice for a retest of that 872, 874-ish range, and possibly past that, guys. I mean, buyers have stepped in very nicely, finding that ascending support, getting that pup. Sellers try to push it back down, but we find that support right here, and we push it back up. So one, we have some solidified support. If sellers try to push it back down, we have a pretty nice level right here, guys, around this rough area where we could see that bounce. And on top of that, guys, we're back within these highs right here. Today is Friday. Market has closed, so we have the weekend to digest. And as long as next week BBI can keep on ripping, guys, it's looking really nice for us to get past this 872 point and possibly back to that 1036, especially kind of breaking over that longer cup and handle like pattern. Like I said, not a perfect cup and handle, but we do have a little bit of something there. And today, as we see the sellers try to step in here, guys, on this most recent daily candle, we do hold above that 787, and kind of close right above the top of these wicks here. So the sellers did get into a little bit of control here, but not really, right? We do hold higher after we see, 4 green candles in a row, nice green candle, a little bit of indecisive candles on these two, but then very nice green wide bar. So the fact that sellers couldn't push us back down, kind of mirroring this bar, couldn't even get really half of that bar's retracement. We are bullish on BBAI, and we should be seeing that leg up past those highs around 872 and possibly back to that 1036. All right, guys, now on the hourly chart, we see a little bit of an ascending stair-step-like pattern. After getting out of that ascending support, we're kind of riding that ascending support. We bleed out of it. Find that chop around that $369 level, get really, really tight. Someone has to win. We see that break with the buyers pushing us out of that zone. Then we kind of just chop around. So I was trying to push it back under that zone. We can't get fully back to that 369. And we see that nice pop, guys, getting above that psychological $5 level. That's where sellers try to step in. But we're kind of just stair-stepping up, guys. Right, price finds that tight kind of consolidation. We get that pop. They try to step in, right? Sellers try to step in here. Then we see that very nice volatile move up. Sellers try to push it down. Cannot retrace that movement. Another nice leg up. Gap up. Another nice leg up. Sellers try to retrace. Cannot get past that full movement. Would be seeing something like this. Cannot do that. And we continue our way up. And like we said, guys, sellers find a little bit of momentum here around that 872-ish level. We get pushed down finally for a movement, right? We see this full movement. So they do get us on that movement, but they couldn't get us on this movement here. So we retrace out, but once we find that base, guys, we bounce, right? That base just around that, let's see here, let's say 620-ish level. Like we said in the last video, guys, that would be the point to watch, and that's exactly what happened, right? We found that base, and we get that push back up and back over that 787. And once we get over that with a very nice hourly green wide bar, we kind of just chop and hold that range. So we don't see sellers like drastically step in here like we saw right here, where we got above that range and sellers step in immediately, pushing us back down to the bottom of this formation. We kind of just get up there and we see multiple hourly candles, right? Pretty much the entire day just holding up here. So that's a very good sign as a buyer. Holding our ground above that zone there, guys. And we're not getting that volatile movement down like we're so used to seeing, right? Huge move up, trying to get past that volatile move down. Big move up, volatile shutdown. This is the second time we're coming back up here in more recent times. And we see that we hold very tight and nice here. So it only makes sense that we do get the bounce up here and we continue to trend higher. If bears do gain that control, it's definitely likely that we could see, a little bit of a pullback, right? And possibly holding higher, making a new stair-step-like pattern. I think that we do get that leg up, guys. I think we kind of see something like this as we try to get pushed down. We held at this support level here. We got to move up, and we're holding tight. So I think it's likely we kind of just see another move up, continuing a stair-step-like pattern, guys, like we saw before. Definitely seems probable. Really liking what I'm seeing on BBAI, guys. As sellers try to push it down, we hold higher within this formation. We don't let sellers push us back down from this formation like BBAI was so used to seeing, right? Those big moves up, full retracements, big move up, pretty much full retracement. And more recently, big move up, full retracement. And right now, guys, we see that big move up. Sellers try to step in, but we correct buyers step in when they need to step in. And as textbook price action, guys, I think we definitely look good to reclaiming these highs and surging past them. As long as buyers can keep coming in and volume can keep flushing, and we see an obvious ascending profile and volume as we see a little bit of buyer price action. As long as volume can keep surging in here, guys, definitely looking nice to that $10. I think that we reclaim these highs and go to that $10. As long as buyers can keep on going up, buying interest can continue to come in here. Let me know your BBAI price predictions in the comments. If you guys enjoyed and want to see more BBAI content, make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, trade smart, and I will see you all in the next one.